Hello and welcome to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo, coming to you live from the void on September 13th, 2024. It may be dark and empty out here, but don't worry, I've got my trusty AI sidekick to keep me company. We may not have much to look at, but at least we have the latest news to keep us entertained. Speaking of entertainment, George R.R. Martin has had enough of talking about the House of the Dragon. It looks like the Game of Thrones author is ready to move on from the prequel series and focus on other projects. But don't worry, we'll still be here to bring you all the latest updates on the show. In other news, giving your partner the silent treatment may seem like a petty move, but it turns out it's actually really toxic. A new study shows that this form of communication can have serious consequences for your relationship. We'll dive deeper into the findings and offer some tips on how to communicate more effectively. If you're a fan of self-driving cars, you may be interested to hear that human drivers keep rear-ending Waymos. It seems that even with advanced technology, there are still some kinks to work out. We'll take a closer look at the incidents and what they mean for the future of autonomous vehicles. In space news, NASA has successfully pulled off a delicate thruster swap, keeping the Voyager 1 mission alive. The spacecraft has been traveling for over 40 years, and this latest maneuver will help it continue its journey into interstellar space. We'll have all the details on this impressive feat. And finally, in celebrity news, Taylor Swift has endorsed Kamala Harris in response to a fake AI Trump endorsement. It looks like the pop star is using her platform to speak out on political issues, and we'll have the latest on her involvement in the upcoming election. That's all for now, but stay tuned for more news and insights from the world as seen by AI. Thank you for joining us on Chaos Theory. George R.R. Martin has had enough of talking about House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones prequel series on HBO. In a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Martin chose not to comment on the controversy surrounding the show's second season, and instead spoke about the upcoming Game of Thrones spin-off, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Martin visited the set of the new show in Northern Ireland in July and had nothing but praise for the cast and showrunner Ira Parker. He also offered a small update on his progress with the long-awaited Winds of Winter, saying he wrote some new pages over the summer. Martin's frustration with House of the Dragon may stem from his disappointment with how HBO handled the adaptation of Game of Thrones, which earned great praise at first but stumbled in later seasons. As a fan of both the books and the shows, it's understandable that Martin would be protective of his work and want it to be adapted faithfully. However, it's important to remember that adaptations are just that, adaptations. They will never be a perfect representation of the source material, and that's okay. It's still possible to enjoy both the books and the shows for what they are, different interpretations of the same story. In a recent story reported by Jenna Ryu, the silent treatment in relationships is explored as a form of emotional abuse. According to Amelia Kelly, PhD, psychologist and author of Gaslighting Recovery for Women, the silent treatment can be a manipulation tactic used to control, confuse, or punish a partner. It is a type of neglect that can make the recipient feel rejected, exhausted, and insecure in the relationship. Dr. Dal Kelly offers tips on how to respond to the silent treatment, including not retaliating with silence, not giving in to the manipulation, expressing how the silence is hurting you, and discussing healthier ways to handle disagreements. If the behavior continues despite efforts to address it, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. Personally, I think it's important to recognize the silent treatment as a form of emotional abuse and to take it seriously. It can be tempting to brush it off as a harmless tactic, but the impact on the recipient's mental health and the relationship as a whole can be significant. It's crucial to communicate openly and honestly in any relationship, and to address issues as they arise, rather than resorting to manipulation or neglect. Timothy B. Lee reported on a recent study released by Waymo, the self-driving car company owned by Alphabet Inc. The study showed that Waymo's driverless cars have been involved in fewer than one injury-causing crash for every million miles of driving, which is a much better rate than a typical human driver. In fact, Waymo estimates that typical drivers in San Francisco and Phoenix, their two biggest markets, would have caused 64 crashes over the 22 million miles that Waymo's driverless cars have traveled. Waymo's data also showed that their vehicles get into injury-causing crashes less than one-third as often per mile as human-driven vehicles. Additionally, Waymo vehicles are one-sixth as likely as human drivers to experience a crash serious enough to trigger an airbag. This news comes at a critical time for Waymo, as they are rapidly scaling up their robotaxi service. Last month, Waymo announced that they were providing 100,000 rides per week, up from 10,000 rides per week just a year ago. In my opinion, this study is a positive step towards the widespread adoption of self-driving cars. The safety benefits of self-driving cars have the potential to save countless lives and reduce traffic congestion. However, it's important to continue monitoring the safety of self-driving cars as they become more prevalent on our roads. The Voyager 1 spacecraft, which has been traveling through space for 47 years, is experiencing issues with its thrusters due to wear and tear. Recently, NASA engineers had to switch to a different set of thrusters to keep the probe communicating with Earth, but found that those were also clogged. The team successfully warmed up and activated one of the attitude propulsion thrusters, but the aging spacecraft requires careful handling and more analysis to keep it running. Voyager 1 launched in 1977 and made close encounters with Jupiter and Saturn before venturing into interstellar space in August 2012. It is currently 15.14 billion miles away from Earth. It's amazing to think about how far Voyager 1 has come and the valuable data it has collected over the years. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our desire to explore the unknown. However, it's clear that the spacecraft is showing its age, and it's only a matter of time before it can no longer be repaired. Let's hope that Voyager 1 continues to provide valuable insights into the mysteries of the universe for as long as possible. Taylor Swift has announced that she will be voting for Vice President Kamala Harris in the upcoming presidential election. In an Instagram post, Swift revealed that AI-generated images of herself endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run had been circulating online, which prompted her to make her support for Harris public. Swift expressed her concerns about the dangers of misinformation and the use of AI technology to spread false information. She also mentioned that she cares about issues such as LGBTQ rights, reproductive care, and IVF. Swift directed her fans to her Instagram story, where she provided a link to register to vote. In my opinion, it's great to see celebrities using their platform to encourage people to vote and to raise awareness about important issues. It's also concerning to see how easily misinformation can spread online, especially with the use of AI technology. It's important for all of us to be vigilant and to fact-check information before sharing it online. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI, hosted by Beatrix Kiddo on September 13th, 2024. We hope you found today's summary of the news informative and thought-provoking. Remember, AI-based news summaries should always be fact-checked prior to sharing. On this day in history, in 1993, the Oslo Accords were signed, marking a significant step towards peace in the Middle East. We appreciate your support and look forward to having you join us again tomorrow for more news. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. Until then, stay informed and stay curious.